The two ordinary hosts of this podcast are not professionals on parapsychology, extraterrestrials, cryptozoology, nor would they describe themselves as religious or prone to superstition. They'd also like to make it known that this show is not intended for children or those with sensitive sensibilities. Please listen at your own discretion. And remember, the truth is often anecdotal.
Hello, listeners. I am Mr. R.
And I'm Mr. X.
A pair of normal dudes.
Reading paranormal stories.
Mr. X, how you feel about bags?
Well, in Colorado, we're not allowed the plastic ones. So I feel they're loud and obnoxious because they're made of paper. My partner also has a habit of using them. As soon as we have an empty paper bag from the grocery store, she'll immediately start using it as a trash can.
As a trash can, yes!
Which annoys me because she puts it on top of the actual trash can, which is usually empty. And so then we have to fill up this bag before I can start using the actual trash can. And then I got to carry an open bag of trash down to the dumpster almost every night when I leave the apartment.
I can assume before you carry it, you got to grab it first.
Yep.
This episode's another grab bag episode.
Yeah, our second one. Nobody remembers when we did the first one, so
that's okay. That's maybe this will inspire folks to find the first one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even remember what that one was about. I remember it being a good time. I can't remember what was in it. So.
The grab bag stuff is always kind of a cool, fun little jaunt.
Yeah, we get to do just whatever we feel like instead of being confined to one single subject.
Instead of being stuck in a thematic prison of our own design.
Yeah, I don't know what your strategy was this time in picking stories. I just went to two of my usual subreddits and I picked one of the top stories of all time on it.
Oh, okay.
Which resulted in a shit ton of comments that I had to pick three of. So I think my first story had 900 something comments, and the second one had almost 600. Luckily, both of them, it seems like the more comments there are, just the more similar they are. Almost all the comments were exactly the same on one of my stories, and I was scrolling forever just to find something a little different.
My tactic was literally almost the exact same. I went to two different subreddits and I typed it, or I punched in hot. What's hot right now? And that's how I got these. So
see, I don't know if you could do it in the browser version, but on mobile, if you go into the subreddit and you click the search bar at the top, it gives you the option for the best of. And it's usually, you can do that from all time, the past month or whatever. So I think last time I just did it within the last month, but this time I just did the overall span of the existence of time and space. And
the entire span of existence.
Hopefully these stories are worth it. So.
Well, fingers crossed. We're starting with me this week?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, this first story, titled, I Have Memories Before I Was Born. Doesn't make sense as a title.
Nope.
Even the Google Doc is are you sure?
What is the suggestion here? Memories from before I was born.
Before I was born. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess that makes more sense.
It certainly does. I have memories before I was born. This was posted into r/paranormal as of 1 day ago.
Well, at this point, it's probably 3 days ago.
Yeah, that's true. Flared with unexplained. And it reads thusly. I'm not sure what to believe about past lives and returning to the universe, but I know I have conscious memories of an area I live in the late 1980s. I was not born until 1990s. One memory, I swore there was a pizza place at this one strip mall, but it was never around in my lifetime. I knew it existed. I could remember the pizza and the exterior. Recently on Facebook, I found pictures and confirmation the pizza place and the correct name did exist. Second memory, I remember a ShopRite store, yellow logo from the 80s. Sorry, that's the end of the sentence. The ShopRite store closed before I was born. I would point out and recall where the ShopRite, God, that's hard to read, where the ShopRite was as a kid, but there was no ShopRite. Lo and behold, I confirmed the address. There was a ShopRite in 1987 where another grocery store is now. I have other memories. That's an isolated paragraph. I have other memories. I can remember car models, signs, fashions being 80s. So I was aware in 1987 in some way, although I didn't have a physical body. My mom and my dad lived in the area and maybe went out to visit relatives or do errands in that part of town. This is 100% real. Take a drink. I wouldn't lie. There is no way I'd know the pizza place and ShopRite otherwise.
I guess. He said he verified on Facebook. It's easy enough to find out what used to be in a spot, you know?
Sure. I mean, you could drive past like an old Domino's or like an old
Pizza Hut, yeah.
Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Blockbuster, and like exactly what used to be in that building.
Yeah. I don't know. Sure, whatever. It's just strange that it's confined to 1987 for their memories.
It is very specific. Do we think that maybe their parents have like pictures of these things that they saw as a kid and they were like, I remember that?
Maybe. Now, in the comments, the OP mentions telling their parents about this. And because I didn't read the story all the way through, I just copy pasted what I could find.
Yeah.
I thought that in the story he told the parents, but I guess not. So
no mention of that.
Oh man, I don't know. That would be my first guess is you just saw some pictures of your parents on a date or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Am I a believer that maybe like in reincarnation and all that stuff? Sure. Who wouldn't want to believe that you keep going afterwards? The way he phrased it at the beginning here, this first sentence, it says, I'm not sure what to believe about past lives and returning to the universe.
Yeah, this insinuates that I guess maybe when you die or when you're between lives, you leave the universe.
Yeah, where else would you go? It would just be another universe, right?
I guess so. Or maybe you're in the upside down.
Ooh, in the void.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm being
this
topical. I didn't watch the show.
Me neither.
Oh.
I watched like the first 2 seasons, but that was it.
Oh.
Maybe this is what the Mandela effect is, right?
Oh, back on this, huh?
Yeah, except these places did exist. They just closed down. They were just shitty businesses, not necessarily like a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
Right. Is there an opposite of the Mandela effect where you remember something that definitely, absolutely did happen, but you weren't there to witness it?
History.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's what it's called.
All right, let's see what some of these comments have to say here.
Okay. Comment number 1. That's actually wild. The pizza place thing, especially since those details are so specific and random. Have you asked your parents if they used to go to those exact spots when your mom was pregnant? Could be some weird in utero memory thing, or maybe you absorb stories without realizing it. Which is, I mean, like that last part, you're driving along, you're like doing the thing where you're in the backseat of the car and you're using your fingers like a little running man running down the sidewalk because your parents are driving, but they're talking about how this new store used to be an old store, and you're like, I remember that.
And you're just more intuitive, is that the word? I don't know.
Intuitive, sure, yeah.
Yeah. You paying more attention than you thought.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, could be.
could be. The OP does respond to that comment and says, I finally told my parents about it tonight. My dad was actually at a loss of words. At a loss of words? I was able to describe the pizza place, and my dad knew where I was talking about. There's no way I could have ever actually have been to the pizza place. It closed before I was born. My dad never talked about the pizza place before. My parents did go to these places about a decade before I was born.
Okay, hold on. This doesn't prove anything because you went and verified on Facebook that the pizza place used to be there. You could have seen pictures of it on Facebook and then described it to your dad. So I don't know. I don't know how paranormal this is, but okay.
Well, that also leaves an open suggestion that the pictures you saw on Facebook existed before your belief in the buildings.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I see plenty of pictures from when I was a kid, right? And you can look at that picture. I was like a couple weeks old in the picture, but I'm like, oh, I feel like I remember that couch, that weird 90s couch. Yeah.
Oh, man, I have a couch I remember very dearly.
I don't actually remember any of the fucking couches. Well, I only know the couch because I've seen that picture several times, though. I don't know. Memory's a weird thing, and since moving to Colorado and being in this altitude, I feel like my memory is fucked. It's worse than it's ever been.
Oh, no!
And I feel like I have the worst brain fog all the time. So anytime someone mentions something about memory, I'm like, it's a fickle thing. And, you know, they say studies that a memory is just a memory of another memory, right? So
right. Every time that's so funny. I was just thinking about that the other day. But every time you remember something, you're only remembering your most recent remembrance of it.
Yeah.
Right. So a memory can change hundreds of times before, I mean, eventually you're just lying to yourself and you don't even know it.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's plenty of, like, I can't really see pictures very clearly in my head, but I remember a lot of instances on like a play-by-play basis. And I can remember a lot of things that people have said to me because those are just words, right? They resonate more, I guess. But like, yeah, I mean, you told me the story about you doing the handstands at that bar last night.
Yeah. Which
reminded me of a time when we worked at the movie theater and we decided that we were going to try to do like I don't even know how to describe it. We were going to bounce off of separate walls and then mid-air high five, and we totally collapsed over each other.
Yeah.
But I can't remember it exactly. I just remember that was the premise of what happened in that moment, you know?
Oh, that's so funny.
But like, there's plenty of places. Like, I remember as a kid, we used to go to a dine-in Pizza Hut a lot. And the only reason I have any kind of memory of what that Pizza Hut looked like is because they all looked the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a fleeting thing. I remember a lot of stained glass, like red stained glass, the red cups that you get for your drinks and stuff. The little chandeliers that I think were like red and green or something like that. But I don't know, man. If I saw a picture,
like a salad bar.
Yeah, if I saw a picture of it, I'd be like, oh, that's exactly how I remember it. But if I was this kid and I was like, I feel like I have past life memories and saw a picture, I would feel obliged to say that that's how I remember it, right?
Yeah. I believe we call that confirmation bias. Comment number 2.
Yeah.
You should read Dr. Brian Weiss's book. Could be Vices, but I don't know yet. I think you'll find them very comforting and interesting. You know that pizza place from before. The OB responds, says, I told my dad about the pizza place last night. He asked questions and his jaw dropped. I was able to answer questions about a place I'd never seen in my lifetime. He definitely knows I was there somehow. Okay. Similar to the first response.
But yeah, I needed to know who this Brian Wise guy was. Wise. And I found, I mean, he is a known person. He's an American psychiatrist / hypnotherapist and author who specializes in past life regressions. His writings include reincarnation, past life regression, future life progression, and survival of the soul after death.
Future life progression. That's just aging.
I think more like reincarnation. Well, I mean, obviously reincarnation's in there, but like the process, because they say like if you have bad karma, you could be reincarnated as a cockroach or something.
Oh, sure, that's the go-to. Yeah.
So maybe it's stuff like that. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I mean, hey folks, we're not gonna promote this Brian Leslie Weiss, but he's got books out there if you're interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you're scared of death like the retcon guys, just I don't know, maybe pick up one of this guy's books.
r/retcon. Check out Brian Weiss.
Yeah.
All right. Last comment here says my brother. Oh, okay. Referring to the original poster as my brother. I was
no.
I get it.
No. They're referring to their own brother in this comment.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. My brother, we are in our 60s now, swears he froze to death at Valley Forge in the winter while he was a member of Washington's army and was camped out there during the Revolutionary War.
Oh, he didn't even die in battle. He just just got too cold. Yeah, this guy should have used an M- to separate my brother and we are in our 60s now. But then people would have thought this was AI. Because for some
that's
reason...
true. Yeah, that's fair.
That's a whole... Which annoys me personally because I use a lot of M- in my writing. And now I feel like I gotta switch it up.
Well, you're either an AI or you're a worm. So...
So this one had a lot of shorter comments. So I thought we'd do another rapid fire.
there's more? I didn't even see them. Yes!
Yeah. So... Yeah, if you want to do the first one, I'll do the next one, and we'll go until it's over.
Remembering the 80s is awesome. Remembering them as an adult would be even better.
Yeah, souls visit parents before birth, so that's likely what you remember.
They must have had pretty good pizza.
You sure you were only born once? Reincarnation is very logical.
This is the most interesting story I've heard in a while.
And of course, I do too. No elaboration.
I do too. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Reddit. It's a great place.
Oh, maybe I do too is just responding to the title.
Yeah. He's literally like, I do too. I think in the actual thread, the OP is like, care to elaborate? And I think he gives like another like one sentence answer.
Incredible stuff.
Well, okay, that's going to do it for the first story. So let's take a little ad break and then we'll move on to my first story. Okay. Okay, for my first story from the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit posted 5 years ago. My 5-year-old son, quote unquote, broke character and talked to me like an adult. Mm-hmm. People will say anything's a glitch, huh?
Anything.
This happened about 2 years ago, and I was so blown away I took notes and told my wife about it. So I still have the notes on my phone. My 5-year-old son was pretty typical for his age, always goofing around, never serious, always working on some angle to negotiate treats or buying whatever thing was at the top of his list this week. Kids have a selfish worldview that's mostly understandable because they haven't matured yet. So when my son asked me to go for a walk, just the two of us, I immediately laughed and thought, okay, what's he gonna ask for? We started walking and I asked, what's on your mind, buddy? He said, nothing really. I just want to have some time to be with you and be peaceful and be out in nature. Wow, okay, this is progress, I thought. Then he said, I want you to know you're the best dad I ever had. You really do help me and my sister a lot, and you're really very nice, even though we don't usually tell you. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything, and I want to be near you always. By this point, the only reason I wasn't completely crying my eyes out is that I thought it was some kind of joke or lead up to ask for something. This was totally out of character, especially at this age. I managed to croak out something like, I'm really glad to hear that. I love you very much. Then we just enjoyed the rest of the walk. It really felt like for a moment I was speaking to a soul who has had several lives. You're the best dad I've ever had. And I wanted to speak directly to me instead of play the role of a child. I'm so glad it happened, and it's something I will never forget. Later, he went right back to being the same old goofy kid that I love. Let me try this in a different tone. Hold on. Where is it? Then he said, I want you to know that you're the best dad I've ever had. You really do help me and my sister a lot, and you're really very nice, even though we don't usually tell you. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything, and I want to be near you always. Okay.
I like the idea. I love the take. It's very appropriate. I like the idea of right after that, be like, and I want to be near you always. Papa, I've pooped my pants. Like,
See,
I found a bug, I'm going to eat it now.
I just imagine the joke from Family Guy where they got Patrick Stewart to play Joe's baby.
Yes, the baby.
Yeah. God. Okay, so this... Now, I don't have kids. You don't have kids.
Nah.
All my siblings' kids aren't old enough to talk, but I've been around kids, and sometimes they just say things normal, you know?
Yeah.
I dated a girl with a kid once who pronounced my name very weird. I almost said my name on here. So,
ooh, tricky.
But she would say my name very odd. It's, I guess, a difficult name for a kid, but like, come on.
I mean, it's plenty of syllables, so.
Well, she added syllables to it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted to be grown up. You know, all kids do. Until we grow up and then we realize that we were fucking idiots.
We had it so good.
I didn't have to worry about shit. And now I got to worry about shit all the time.
All the time. There's so much shit.
It's plastered on the walls and the ceiling. And that's growing up, kids. If there's a 4-year-old or 5-year-old listening to this right now, just know that the future is shit. It's nothing but shit everywhere.
I just took a drink of Dr. Pepper. The idea of a 4-year-old listening to our podcast is very funny.
I don't know. Mr. E might have their kids listen. Oh, God. Okay. I really don't have much else to say to the, because, you know, I don't have kids. I don't have a whole lot of experience, but
no.
Yeah, you know, I've seen kids like try to be mature. Like they'll try to, I mean, like when I was a kid, I used to see my parents outside drinking, having conversations, and I thought, hey, that's what being an adult is, right? You grow up and you just sit around and talk about stuff like all the time. And technically, it's true. Yeah, like whenever I get with my friends now, all we do is talk about shit, right? And so, like, when I was very little, that's what I wanted to do. I want to be part of that conversation. I want to be grown up. And then when I'd see other little kids, we'd sit around and try to have conversations, but we don't have any life experience. So what the fuck were we talking about?
Yeah,
probably
toys,
nothing.
X-Men.
Bugs. But anyways, let's see what these comments have to say. They might be a little more insightful. So comment number 1 here starts with a quote, says, "You're my favorite mummy I've ever had. And I'd like you to be my mummy again next time." Were things that my toddler said over and over to his mum. He was a fountain of past life stories and weird paranormal encounters at that age, or an extremely imaginative child, depending on how you want to look at it.
That's a good fallback on the end of that little comment there.
Yeah, he's pandering to both sides.
Yeah.
That's our job.
What do you think you're doing?
Pander too much to the one side. Man, I'm not sure how much I believe in the whole, like, you know, kids remember their past lives up to a certain age thing. I think it's an interesting idea, but I also think that kids just say things, you know, like I said, you know, I wanted to be part of the conversations. I don't really know what I was like as a kid. It must have been weird for my parents who grew up speaking one language and then their kids grew up speaking a different language. So I'm not sure how like much they were able to like absorb of the stuff that I was saying. I'm sure I said a lot of offhand shit. Like, I don't know. My mom, as far as I know, my mom's never told me about anything weird that I've said. Did your parents ever mention anything that you might have said?
Me personally, no. No, not once. Can I think of anything?
And you have a brother with a child. When they were small, did they say weird shit to you?
No, no. My brother has a couple children, but I haven't been around. I will say though, my roommate has a few nephews, and one of them's 4. And the last time I saw him, he had just lost 2 of his teeth. And I went into his bedroom. It was nighttime. They were in bed, and I went into his bedroom, and I was like, "Hey, you lost your teeth." And then he looked up at me and he goes, "You lost your beard." And I had recently shaved my beard.
Okay.
And
so yeah, that brings up something. My partner's niece, they were in town the other day, and my partner was telling them about our job because we worked together, and kind of talking about the stuff that she didn't like about it and all that stuff. And her niece responded with, "Well, it's better than being dead."
Oh my God.
To which I wanted to be like, I'm not so sure. But, she's only 7, so I didn't.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they want to be a part of the conversation, but sometimes they just don't know what to say, right? So they're just going to say some offhand shit. "You're the best parent I ever had" sounds like something that a kid would say, right? I mean, how's a kid supposed to know that, they were only born 4 years ago, right? Like,
right.
They don't have memories of it.
They also have no other thing to compare it to, right?
Yeah. It's like, hey, this is my parent. I've had them my whole life. I really like this person. So you're going to, you probably can't conceive of the idea that you didn't exist 4 years ago. So you probably thought like, oh, maybe I was with a different family and now I'm with this family. And so I'm going to say that you're the favorite one that I've had, right? Even though they don't actually know. I'm just spitballing here. Sometimes I feel like I'm too skeptic, too skeptical for my own good. But I don't know. I just, I have a couple of friends with kids. I should ask them before.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a theme, right? Maybe if it was a theme, I might have. It just so happened that we both picked stories about like.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Remembering stuff before you're born. But anyways, comment number 2 here says, "My son, who is 4, had a few moments like this. Once when we were playing, he spontaneously said, 'Remember back when I was big, like really big, like
what?
27 and I was the daddy, but then I died and now you're the daddy.'" Okay.
Oh.
One time during a rainstorm, he was in the car with his mom. She has a fear of bad weather. Out of nowhere, our son said in a really serious voice, "It's okay, everybody dies. We just have to start over. We just have to start over again. Like, go back to being a baby."
At first, I thought you were ad-libbing. I thought you were like editorializing.
No, that's literally what it says in there.
It's all in the comment.
And there's still more. And when doing some crazy gymnastic moves, he said, "When you're a kid again, you got to try this." Okay.
That's so wild, though. What a weird thing to say.
So funny, too, because when we started this recording, you were telling me about your little gymnastics stunt last night. You don't have to wait till you're a kid again, you little shit.
Yeah, you could do it at 33 and have an asthma attack.
Yeah, if you're going to attempt it, try not to do it in Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, then my last comment on here. And this was the post I had the most trouble with because they were all so fucking similar. It was all just people like, my 4-year-old said something similar. And then literally they just say something similar. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, so let's see. What did I find here? Funny, you said that it seems like he's an old soul because there's a lot of evidence out there for reincarnation. Much of it from children being able to accurately recount past lives. Check out the University of Virginia's Division of Perceptual Studies, where several MDs have studied thousands of children. Usually, they're only able to recall past lives before the age of 6 or 7. Okay. There are also quite a few books out there about near-death experiences, also written by doctors, that support reincarnation and debunk the oft-used explanations, quote-unquote, or lack of oxygen, quote-unquote, or DMT flooding the brain, quote-unquote, as possible causes of for near-death experiences. What is a near-death experience to you, man? Like, near-death is you avoided death. I think this person's talking about, like, dying and being brought back, which happened to me twice, actually. So
absolutely.
All I remember is gray. It's like a grayness. And that's about it. So it was actually quite comforting in the moment. So it might have been DMT flooding my brain.
Could have been. Easily.
When I drowned, it was more than likely, because when I woke up, it felt euphoric, right? And I probably understand a little better now. It's because I was being fed like straight oxygen, which is a very euphoric feeling. If you ever have access to just a straight O2 tank, try it. Feels good.
Are you telling me or the audience?
And then telling the audience. But if you have access to an O2 tank, you should take it too. All right, that's going to do it for the comments on this one. So let's take another little ad break, and then we'll get back to it.
Ad. Okay, now it's on to my second story, posted in r/backwoods creepy as of 20 days ago, or around 20 days ago, titled Something Circling My Cabin.
Ooh. Now, I'm going to say, when I was typing up this little script or whatever, for a second, I was like, wait, have we done this before? Like, have we done this story before? But then I like skimmed through it and I read the word bunkie. And I was like, no,
there's no way we skipped over bunkie, huh?
It was also only from 20 days ago. So yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. So my family has owned a cottage in North Ontario for more than 50 years, and last summer, something seriously creepy happened to me there. And I was hoping for any explanations. That's a question. Our cottage is quite small, and so me and my cousins sleep out in a separate bedroom we built outside. Huh? We call it the bunkie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a bedroom, though.
No.
Okay.
I mean, unless it is.
Well, how can there be a room outside? It would be like a structure, right? I mean, I say that, but in Puerto Rico, they build their houses up. I'm not sure why. You would think, avoid flooding, but most houses are on hills. I guess there are houses on the like bottom, like the slopes of hills that would need to avoid flooding, but they build their houses up. So there's usually the main house is on the second floor, and there's like a carport or something on the bottom floor. And all the houses that my family owned that were built like that had a separate little room downstairs. And now there's no insulation because it's all just concrete structures. Yeah. So it's just a concrete wall. The other side of that concrete wall is the outside. And then they don't have glass windows on most buildings there. They have like vents, like little metal vents that open up for the windows. And so it just feels like outside, but for some reason that bottom room just feels more like outside than the top one. Because I guess on the top ones, the ground isn't immediately outside your window or something like that. So, I don't know. I guess I can understand what he's saying, but in my head, what they're building here is just maybe like a lean-to, right? Something just makeshift that they sleep in every once in a while, not an actual room. But anyways,
Wha-
bunkie.
I mean, yes, we have decided it is called a bunkie. I woke up before my cousins to what I thought was someone walking towards the bunkie, but when the sound didn't stop, and it was the sound of shoed feet treading on our loose stone driveway, I realized that someone was actually circling our bunkie. It was sorry, I'm gonna keep saying that word. It's tickling me already. It was light out, and from my bed, I could see out the window, and so I was just waiting, totally petrified in fear, for someone's head to pop up as they circled, but no head popped up. I don't know if I'm just paranoid, but I was so afraid and just felt so exposed, like nothing I have ever felt out there. Okay, is that weird? Is that a weird sentence?
I don't know if I'm just paranoid, but I was so afraid and just felt so exposed, like nothing I have ever felt out. They should have used the word before or something in there.
Right. Okay, the sound didn't stop for a long time, and honestly, I didn't want to scare my younger cousin, who was asleep beside me. So after mustering up some courage, I crawled onto the floor and grabbed my phone to call my dad. My cousin woke up at this point, okay, and I told her what was going on, and my dad came out. My cousin didn't hear anything and was not afraid. My dad looked around a bit, but told me it was probably just an animal. But animals have pretty soft feet, right? So how could it have sounded like shoes circling? It could have been a deer, but why would a deer be circling our bunkie? And how come I didn't see it out the window? I don't know. I would appreciate any answer. Honestly, I do believe in the paranormal, but I respect folklore. So whatever answer seems logical to you, I'm all ears.
Okay, well, I feel like what you're asking for here is a paranormal answer.
Yeah. I'll respect any answer, but I like paranormal ones.
Now, for what I understood from most of the comments, is people just giving reasonable answers, like different types of animals. And I'm going to say, yeah, it could just be an animal. If you're out in foliage, anything is going to sound heavier when it's crunching on grass, right? Or not on grass, but on leaves, and like moving the foliage around, right? So it could literally be anything. It could just be a bird scavenging on the ground for worms or something. It'll probably sound heavier, and especially if you're in like a groggy state, you know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many times you've slept out in a tent. I know we went camping once with some friends in Philly.
Oh yeah, we did.
Which was kind of a nightmare because
it was
we
awful.
were not prepared for that. But usually every time I've ever slept in a tent, I wake up fucking like wet. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
freezing
if
cold.
If it's the dew or if it's me sweating because of the material that tents are made out of. It's just you wake up feeling uncomfortable, and my ears would always feel like they were full of fluid and stuff, which can alter the way that you hear things. So who knows? I'm guessing this isn't a tent. I'm guessing they're bunkie. They're describing it as having a window and a floor. So maybe there is something more to this. But they also say that it's something that they and their cousin built, right?
That's a good point.
And so me and my cousin, our cottage is quite small, and so me and my cousin sleep out in a separate bedroom we built outside. That could just be the family, right? They could have just made a separate structure to it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, let's see what the commenters have to say here.
Comment number 1 says, I lived in Ohio for a while. Probably not the response you were hoping for, but
no.
Where
Why does anybody live in Ohio?
Yeah, Ohio. Are you sure? We don't believe you. Shut up.
I have a friend he doesn't actually live in Ohio. He works in Ohio, but he lives in Kentucky. He lives like right across the border.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a weird little situation for him.
But where I was, we had so many cryptid creatures using my neighborhood as sort of a highway system. Everything from the usual names to what a medicine woman I had befriended called a badger man.
Okay.
There's a lot in that sentence. It was like living in a war zone and not a place to raise children. So I had to toss in the towel on that property, despite it being ideal in every other way. Glad nothing bad happened. Not saying it always will, or it was in your situation, but reminded me of some of my experiences. It reminded me of things that I want to talk about.
You know, sometimes I'm glad that we only do audio for this, because then I would have to do my hair when I wake up immediately before recording these.
Yeah.
But then other times, I wish people could see the faces that I make when we read these stories.
As the stories are recounted.
Everything from the usual names, like, I don't know, Bigfoot.
Yeah, sure.
Mothman, the Jersey
Chupacabra.
Devil.
Jersey Devil's a good one.
To something that a medicine woman I befriended called a Badger Man. Okay, I need more detail in this story. Where did you befriend this woman? Was it at the bar? Like,
yeah, was it?
That's all I can imagine.
Oh
my gosh, what a wild! I'll have to go back later and see what
see
this
if this
person's
person has any like stories.
Yeah.
All right. Comment number 2 says, "Moose have hard hooves." Moose have hard hooves. Years ago, my dad was working in the front yard and thought a jogger was going by on the gravel road. He looked up and saw a moose casually trotting by.
Moose have hard hooves. I like the idea of being like working out in your yard and you're like, oh, some joggers coming. Maybe I'll wave at them. And then you look up and it's just a big ass moose.
Yeah, those motherfuckers get massive.
I don't know if I've ever seen... No, actually, you know what? I think I have seen a moose in person once.
That's so scary.
Out in the wild. But I don't know. They're not super common in a lot of places in the U.S. Obviously, the further north you go. But and you know what? In Canada, especially probably North Ontario, I'm sure there's a lot of moose out there. So this could definitely be a reasonable explanation.
Could have been a moose. Then again, it's going to be hard to miss a moose.
Yeah, can you imagine? What would you do if it was a moose?
Moose are just really sneaky.
Because moose are pretty aggressive, right? They're pretty scary.
They're territorial.
They take on bears all the time and win a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So what would this OP have done if it was a moose outside of their little bunkie?
Well, I don't know. I guess it really depends on how big the bunkie is. Because if the bunkie can withstand a moose, I think you're going to be okay.
But then if it's called a bunkie,
there. I doubt it's going to withstand anything.
Yeah. If it's just a bundle of sticks held together by some string, just make sure that moose doesn't know that you're in there, I guess.
Yeah, never stood a chance. Big Bad Wolf's going to come and blow it down. Can't believe those pigs stayed in a bunkie. Comment number 3. One time, late at night, I was outside at my cottage. I'm going to assume this is another Canadian. I was alone listening to a murder podcast on my phone. I could hear something coming up the hill towards me. The hill in question was about 15 feet away from me. I couldn't see down due to the steepness and plants/shrubs at the top hiding the view. I paused the podcast and was understandably freaked out. It didn't sound like a deer, and it definitely wasn't a fox or rabbit or raccoon or mouse or a dog or a fish or a duck. Just keep naming animals. It was noisier than any animal. That feels like a challenge. Sorry. It was noisier than any animal I'm sorry, I didn't finish the sentence. I've ever encountered at the cottage.
Okay.
I started to freak out internally, thinking it was a human coming to murder me. I was frozen with fear listening to whatever it was stomp up the hill towards me. This is how I learned that porcupines give no fucks about being quiet or stealth. That's the way the sentence reads. When that fucker crested the hill and emerged from the foliage, I finally exhaled the breath I'd been holding and started to chuckle. I guess when you're covered in spikes, you feel invincible. LOL. I don't know anything about porcupines, I'm going to be honest.
I think animals just don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
They're just going about their lives, and then if they think they're in danger, they're bolting.
Yeah.
You know, I live in a pretty populated area, I guess. I live like on the border of like the southern border of Denver. And I swear that before this area was developed, this was probably the countryside, right? These people moved here to get away from the city, and the city just made its way to them. But there is still a couple of parks. There's one park it's kind of small for like a trail, but there is a trail on it, and it's flanked by subdivisions and office buildings. But there's a sign at the very front of the park that says, "Look out for coyotes." And I'm always like, there's no way that there's coyotes like denning over here. But sure enough, I've been seeing a lot of coyotes lately.
Uh-oh.
I saw a fox once too, walking out of one of these parks.
Cool.
So there's just animals are everywhere, man, and they don't give a fuck. But if you're listening to a fucking a true crime podcast in the middle of the night, you're probably going to be a little extra paranoid. But anyways.
Sorry, the last comment under that story is, for me, at my hangout in the woods, it's birds in the bushes looking for worms. Any sound on gravel can sound like footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
I take offense to the whole mention of looking for worms, but yeah, you said it earlier. Like anything sounds like footsteps.
Yeah, this person specifically says on gravel, and I think did they mention gravel in the story?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a gravel. I think a driveway or a walkway.
Yeah, I see. I think more specifically, I think anything moving through leaves sounds like a person, right? There have been plenty of times that I'm like walking and I hear like shuffling in the leaves, and I think it's like someone like jogging up behind me, and I turn to look. It's just a squirrel. Just a squirrel hanging out. Actually, that reminds me, I got to send you this picture real quick because I was on a walk earlier and I had this encounter. I'm going to put it in the media channel here. All right, this is a little guy I encountered on my walk today. I saw him and he like scurried out of my way. He was on the path, and I was like, oh, this cute little guy. He's just sitting on this bare tree. He's nibbling on a nut or something. I was like, I'm going to take a picture of him. So I stop, I pull up my phone, and I lift it to take a picture. And right as I hit the button, he just looked right at me. Like, full cognizance. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? So like, if you look at this picture, yeah, he's literally just looking right at me.
Did you? Oh, you posted it. I see.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep. Just
Square on.
Straight on. What did Mr. E say here? That's a squirrel from Endeavorshire. Wait, what squirrel? What is he talking about? I don't remember a squirrel.
There was I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a character disguised as a squirrel at some points of that campaign.
I listened to that whole season. I guess I don't remember. I remember the turkey.
Oh yeah, the turkey, of course.
Okay. Let's take another ad break, and then we'll move on to the last story.
Ad.
All right. To end this out, we're gonna read my last story here from the Paranormal subreddit posted 2 years ago. It's titled "My Grandpa Didn't Know He Was Dead."
Oh no.
Okay. This flared with visitation dream.
Oh.
This is a dream one, unfortunately. But you know what? The last time we did the whole dream episode, I think it kind of pushed me more into the idea that dreams are probably more paranormal than I give them credit
Okay,
for.
really turning the corner on dreams.
They are paranormal in the sense that, like, not normal, right? Dreams are vague.
Beyond science at this point. They're above normal.
But you know what? I'm also not going to give dreams a whole lot of credit because right before we started recording this, I was asleep. And then I woke up and came to record this. But I was having a dream. It was a pretty fun dream, I think. But in the dream, for some reason, I thought there were 5 beetles.
Oh, there was a 5th beetle.
Yeah. Now you can argue that there was a 5th beetle and that
some
he
people
ditched
will
the band.
definitely argue that.
Yeah, but there was only 4 of them that actually got like uber famous, and so yeah, my brain for some reason was like, well, there's 5 of them, but that's not true. So yeah, I don't know how much credit I'm willing to give dreams, but I'm willing to admit.
Go ahead and name that imaginary 5th beetle.
Yeah, do it. In my dream, they were fish, and we were under the sea.
Now hold on a dang minute. That is pretty paranormal.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck am I dreaming about right now? And then I woke up and I was like, wait a minute, there's not 5 beetles. I at least sat there for a minute as I was like gaining consciousness, and I was like trying to count them on my hand. I was like, this is George, Ringo, Paul, John.
Yeah, it'd be so funny if you came up with a 5th name, though.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So this story goes. About 10 or so months ago, my grandfather died. It was a sudden death that resulted in a car crash. He never knew what happened. Okay, immediately this is confusing me because did he like have a heart attack or an aneurysm and then crash the car, or did he die because of a car crash? I don't know.
It was a sudden death that resulted in a car crash. Okay.
About 2 weeks or so later, I had a dream. He was sitting at his kitchen table, saw me, and asked, Calf Dreamer, which I'm guessing is their username, where am I? What's going on? I looked at him and said, you died. I'm sure they didn't say it like that. You dead.
Sorry to say it.
He responded with, oh, okay. He didn't really seem too surprised by the news.
All right. Oh, my bad.
He went on to say that he keeps seeing this white light and that he doesn't know what it is, but that it keeps calling to him. I told him that it's a good place where his brother and mother are, that it's peaceful and full of love, that they're waiting for him and would very much like to see him again. But then I told him in a very important way, okay, that it was his choice. He didn't have to go and could wait as long as he wanted.
Aww.
He thought about it for a moment and said he was going to wait a while. I cried and he started to make himself a comfortable home. Then I woke up. I truly believe I got to communicate with him after he died, and that he needed me to tell him that he died. End of the story. All right, well, okay. I like this little sentence here. He's like, he thought about it for a moment, said he'd wait a while, and then started to make himself a comfortable home. In my head, I imagine this a lot like the scene in Barbie, where she meets with Ruth.
Oh, yes.
And they're just sitting at the kitchen table, and she's having like a little coffee.
That'd
be nice.
A good scene.
If I pass on, I just go like that episode of SpongeBob, go meet all my friends in their dreams and just have a cup of coffee for a while. Or in my case, I guess I'd like to be in a movie theater and watch a different movie with a different person.
Oh man, yeah, that would be perfect for you, dude.
Yeah. Let's see the comments here.
You should plan on dying in a movie theater.
Yeah. It's a nice thought. Have a little heart attack, and then the usher comes in and is like, oh,
sir, the next showing is about to start. You can't stay for the next showing.
And then he realizes that I'm pale and stiff. And he's like, oh, geez.
I think this guy shit his pants.
There was an incident when I worked at the theater. A couple of incidents, but there was one where a guy had a heart attack. And yeah, it was found after the fact. There was another incident where this old woman was going up the stairs, frail old woman, going up the stairs. She was only on the first flight because, it's different rows, right? So she was only on the first little flight of stairs to get to the first row. And she tripped, fell backwards, and literally splat like a tomato. It was a horror scene in there. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, she hit the floor and blood just splattered. Like, it was,
it makes it sound like she fell apart a little bit. No.
Yeah, it's only funny because she was okay for the most part. But can you imagine if she died in that moment?
She just lost all of her
horrifying.
juice.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God, man, I was there for way too long, but okay. Have I even read any of these comments? No, I haven't. Okay,
No.
First comment here. What a powerful dream. You navigated that conversation with such grace and compassion too. It seems like he was in need of some. Okay, I thought that said indeed for a second. It seems like he was in need of some clarity, and it's wonderful that you were able to give that to him. Thank you for sharing, and may he rest in peace. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know if Granddad moved on or not.
No, he built a home in the dream.
He was like, you know
He
what?
stayed there.
Fuck God and the devil. I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to stay
The
here.
Grim Reaper
not,
came and was like, it's time to go. And he said, you can leave. This is my house. I live here.
Yeah, I can finally afford a home because I'm dead. This is all in my imagination. Okay, let's see. Comment number 2. I haven't shared this with too many people, but I had a similar dream about my dad 3 months after his passing. In the dream, I was at my childhood home, standing in the living room. I remember all the windows in the house were open, filtering in white and golden light. It was the most peaceful place I had ever experienced. Then I heard my dad's voice. I turned around and he was looking right at me. He then said to me that all is well, that he's okay, and to take care of myself. There was so much I wanted to say to him, but I couldn't. Then, in an instant, he was gone. I woke up immediately and started bawling. But looking back, it comforts me that he came back to say goodbye. Okay. Now,
Yeah, that's nice, I guess.
As one of the only 2 hosts of this podcast, and the only one who's had a parent die, you ever have a dream where they come to you
No.
and say something
This is gonna suck to
insightful, I
hear.
guess?
No. Since I couldn't tell you the last time I had a dream about my mother, but I definitely haven't had one since she died. She hasn't been featured in any of my night TV, as I call them.
So she just said, fuck it, I'm out of here, right?
Yes.
She went to Last Call in the Sky or whatever, and
Yeah.
just didn't look back, huh?
Last Call in the Sky.
I
She's
imagine
probably
your
up
mom
there
was a drinker. I don't
scratching
know.
Oh no, she was an alcoholic.
Scratching some lottery tickets and
Yeah, scratching lottery tickets up in the great. She would also do those quarter games that you see at gas stations. That you put a quarter in and it pushes a bunch of quarters forward.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
What a weird addiction. But no dreams of insight or anything like that.
No portents.
All right, comment number 3. I used to live right next door to a mortuary. I forgot about this comment.
Oh.
Very frequently I would encounter random ghosts in my house. Most of them looked lost and scared. I've seen it a lot. They are literally going through the sudden realization that no, they aren't just going to wake up. That no, nobody's playing a big joke. And yes, they're actually dead. So I think they then worry that since they aren't in heaven with clouds and harps and angels, that they either, I'm sorry, does that say angels or angles? I'm pretty sure that says angels on there. That would have been funny.
Yeah, that's angels.
That they either have no place to go but hell, or they assume they already are in hell. So there's a whole adjustment period. Hey, I subscribe to the idea that if there is a heaven and hell, we are currently in hell because Christ. What were you going to say?
What if we just got to fight our way through it? Well, so I was going to go with the opposite and say, what if neither is an option and the afterlife is just, I don't know, you kind of have to hang out on the material plane and watch everyone else go through it.
Oh, God, that would suck. I don't know. I feel like I'd be bumping into more ghosts if that was the case. Yet I don't think I ever have.
That's a good point.
Let's see. Usually once the ghost encountered either my roommate or myself, they usually just left. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't want to be here with him. They just leave. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe they see me and they're like, ew, and they leave. Who knows? Realizing that they aren't actually realizing that they aren't actually hiding out in an abandoned house. How long would that take them to realize? Anyways, this comment is so matter of fact. It's kind of annoying. They probably just came in when nobody was around. Okay. I'd often just tell them that they're dead, but sometimes they either vanished or just got up and walked through the wall.
Oh.
Christ. Guy,
Okay,
you sound like you need to lay off the weed or something, man. Because I don't know.
Man, I was really hoping you were gonna say pork rinds.
Yeah, lay off the pork rinds, man. Stop. You and your roommate. God, the house probably smells like farts, man. So when I lived in Waco, Texas, lived right next to a cemetery. It's a pretty old fucking cemetery. I was
gonna say, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's massive.
Well, it's one that's right off of the Baylor campus. It's pretty big. It's a pretty nice place to walk my dog back when I had one. But the immediate tombstones that I could see were from the 1800s. So it was pretty fucking old. And I never encountered a ghost, one that was confused or not. And maybe it's because he said it's a mortuary and not a cemetery. I feel like a cemetery is where you get laid to rest, right? It's supposed to be a peaceful place.
Yeah. Well, alternatively, why would ghosts hang out in a mortuary?
I don't know.
Unless they died there.
I don't feel like there's any reason for them to be there either. Otherwise, the Bob's Burger restaurant would be haunted as fuck.
That's true.
For
and I'm sure there's an episode about
Bob's Burgers. There's not. There's really not. They
missed opportunity, sounds like.
The very first episode of Bob's Burgers, they get shut down because the youngest child starts a rumor.
Flesh.
Yeah, that they use human flesh from the mortuary. But that's literally the only time they ever get into it. I think there is an episode where the kids have to stay at the mortuary and they get creeped out. But other than that, there's never anything about like seeing ghosts or anything. And a lot of times when I'm like surfing the web for like screenwriting contests and stuff, they'll often do like these programs where you send in some scripts and then they decide if they want to include you in their program for a season. And a lot of times they require you to write an episode of an existing show, and Bob's Burgers is often on that list. So maybe you just gave me an idea for one to submit where they encounter a ghost from the mortuary. Okay, let's finish this off with the last comment here. Some people claim that the white light is a soul trap and it should be avoided at all costs.
Sorry? Is a what?
Is a soul trap.
Oh.
I guess if you subscribe to the idea of a soul, people claim.
Yes,
someone did comment to that.
That's the.
This next comment here is even crazier. It's a response to that. And it says, the beam emitted from the soul cube, the very doorway to samsara, I've read. Okay. The beam emitted from the soul cube and the very doorway to the samsara, I've read. That stuff messes with me enough to be a little weary of the white light myself. I've also read plenty that suggests they'll disguise themselves as family members or religious figures to coax you into it. What is the samsara? Now I gotta look that up. Fuck.
So the samsara is like it's a more negative take on reincarnation. Like it's more but I don't want to say bitter, but it's like the annoying cycle of rebirth. Okay,
so I am gonna have to go based off of Wikipedia for a reason that I'll get into here in a second. But let's see. Samsara is a Sanskrit word that means wandering. as well as world, wherein the term connotes cycle change, or less formally, running around in circles. Okay. In the context of Indian religions and philosophies, samsara is the concept of all beings experiencing an ongoing cycle of life, death, and rebirth. As a result, it can also be equated broadly with transmigration, reincarnation, the karmic cycle, and lesser used term punarjanman, or a cycle of aimless drifting, wandering, or mundane existence. Okay. I feel like this is probably the idea I would subscribe to the most. If reincarnation does exist, I mean, I went into this in the retcon episode, right? That maybe when you die, it's just you replaying your life in that last breath, just replaying constantly for eternity. And that's the last thing that you perceive, right? Your body might just go into the ground, but your consciousness just goes on forever in a cycle, right? Which, yeah, sure, whatever. The reason I have to go off of Wikipedia is because the first 5 things that popped up are different tech companies that use samsara as a name. So this one is for fleet management, GPS tracking, dash cams, ELD, asset tracking, and routing and navigation. This other one is a cloud service. So
terrific.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
So what is this person fucking saying? Like you're being tricked into an aimless cycle of the same life?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what the fuck a soul cube is.
The beam emitted from the soul cube.
So, hold on. What happens if I Google soul cube beam emission? Is this anything? Okay, well, okay. This is referring me to Doom 3, the video game. So.
Very often, when I don't know what something is in these stories and I Google it, it's related to some video game. So.
Yeah. Has to be.
Okay. Well, all right. That was the last comment on the last story. So do you have anything to wrap us up here?
I don't have anything for this episode, but I do have kind of a teaser for the next one.
Ooh, go ahead.
So to folks listening, the next episode is a special episode because it's our 50th episode.
Yeah, 50. So we're gonna finally tackle a subject that we've been wanting to do for a while.
Yes.
Know.
Obviously, we began the podcast under the umbrella of kind of a catch-all term, paranormal. And really, there's 3 things that come to mind when you talk about the paranormal. That's aliens, it's ghosts, and it's cryptids. And when you say cryptids, really only one comes to mind immediately. And we waited 50 episodes to talk about it. We are talking, of course, about Bigfoot. And
hell yeah!
And are we having a guest for this one?
No, I think we'll focus on Bigfoot, and then maybe the next one after that we'll finally do a guest.
Okay.
I think we'll finally get Mr. E on here.
Heck yeah. So keep an ear out for the 50th episode of this show. Happy day. Gonna do some Bigfoot stories. Might do more stories, maybe. I don't know how we're feeling about it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one. That is gonna have to do it for this grab bag episode. I think. Yeah, number 2, grab bag number 2. I'd like to say thank you to Dale Spalding and Ender Music for our intro, as well as Sean over at OhThatSean.com for our podcast art. But thank you for listening. We appreciate that. If you didn't, well, we wouldn't have a show. If you have any suggestions for spooky subreddits, websites, or even just a story you'd like us to read from, go ahead and drop those suggestions in the comments, or you could send them directly to us for this show on Reddit at PONDPOD.
And if you're enjoying the show, you can do a couple of things for us, such as leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you listen to this podcast. You can also check out some of the other stuff that we do, such as Sequel Factory, where we watch a movie and then pitch an idea for a sequel that nobody asked for with our good friend Jet Cuso. And you can catch Mr. R and Mr. E over on the Dirty 22 for some D&D fun. And we've been a Paranormal Dudes, ever in need of stories to intrigue, perplex, maybe even frighten. So remember, if you can't explain it, it's the Soul Cube. And until next time, stay tuned and stay the best dad that I ever had.
Yeah!